15 famous Black celebrities with LGBTQ plus kids you never knew about. Behind fame, trophies, and standing ovations lies a truth Hollywood rarely shows. Some of the bravest battles happen at home. While the world judges, whispers, and points fingers, these Black celebrities made a choice that shocked many. They chose unconditional love over fear, tradition, and public opinion. Supporting an LGBTQ plus child isn't just personal, it's revolutionary. In a world still divided by prejudice, their stories challenge everything we think we know about family, identity, and courage. Are these celebrities heroes, or are they breaking cultural norms? Watch closely and decide for yourself. Comment below and subscribe to Black Excellence Legends for more untold stories. Koko SWV. Koko, born Cheryl Gamble, is best known as the unmistakable lead voice of SWV, one of the most successful female R&B groups of the 1990s. With timeless hits like Weak, Right Here, and Rain, SWV sold over 25 million records worldwide, earning Grammy nominations and cementing their place in R&B history. Koko's voice, emotional, powerful, and instantly recognizable, became the heartbeat of a generation's soundtrack. Yet beyond music, Koko's most meaningful role has unfolded quietly, away from the stage lights. As a mother, she faced a journey that tested faith, understanding, and unconditional love. Her son, Jay, formerly Jalen Clemens, publicly embraced his identity as a member of the LGBTQ+ community, a moment that carried profound significance not only for their family, but for many fans watching closely. Rather than retreat into silence, a common response among celebrities navigating deeply personal family matters, Koko chose openness. She publicly affirmed her love and support for her child, making it clear that identity did not change worth, value, or belonging. Coming from a background rooted in Christian faith, her response resonated deeply, showing that spirituality and acceptance do not have to exist in conflict. Koko used her platform thoughtfully, sharing messages that emphasize compassion over judgment. She spoke about growth, learning, and the importance of listening as a parent. In doing so, she became a quiet but powerful example for families grappling with similar conversations, especially within communities where discussions around gender and sexuality are often avoided. Importantly, Koko never framed her child's journey as a headline or controversy. Instead, she centered the narrative on love, dignity, and protection, values that transcend fame. Her approach shifted the focus away from fear and toward understanding, reminding audiences that parenting does not come with rigid scripts, only responsibility. Today, Koko's legacy extends beyond platinum records. She stands as a symbol of maternal courage, showing that true strength is not found in applause, but in standing firmly beside your child when the world feels uncertain. In supporting her LGBTQ+ child with grace and conviction, Koko redefined what it means to be a role model, proving that the most powerful harmony is the one created at home. Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade is widely celebrated as one of the greatest shooting guards in NBA history. A three-time NBA champion, Finals MVP, and Olympic gold medalist, his achievements on the court secured his legacy long before retirement. Yet in recent years, Wade has been equally recognized for a different kind of leadership, one rooted not in athletic dominance, but in fatherhood and courage. Among Wade's 4 children, his daughter, Zaya Wade, became a powerful symbol of authenticity and self-discovery. In 2020, Zaya publicly came out as a transgender girl, a moment that sparked global conversation. Rather than shielding the situation from public view, Wade and his wife, actress Gabrielle chose honesty. They spoke openly about learning, listening, and evolving as parents, acknowledging they did not have all the answers, but were committed to love without conditions. Wade emphasized that parenting is not about control, but protection. He used interviews, speeches, and social media to advocate for acceptance, particularly in spaces where conversations about gender identity remain stigmatized. In professional sports, often associated with rigid expectations of masculinity, his stance carried significant weight. He made it clear that supporting his child was not political, but parental. Zaya, supported by her family, emerged with remarkable confidence. She began attending public events, speaking calmly and intelligently about identity and self-respect. Her composure challenged stereotypes and offered hope to countless young people navigating similar journeys without support. Importantly, Wade never framed his daughter's identity as a controversy. He framed it as truth. His willingness to confront backlash and misinformation demonstrated a rare form of strength, choosing empathy over comfort and integrity over applause. Dwayne Wade's story proves that legacy is not limited to trophies or statistics. His most enduring achievement may be showing the world that unconditional love, when lived publicly and honestly, can shift culture. In standing firmly beside his daughter, Wade redefined what it means to be a champion, on and off the court. Magic Johnson. Magic Johnson's name is synonymous with basketball greatness. A five-time NBA champion, three-time MVP, and global sports icon, he transformed the game with charisma, leadership, and vision. Yet beyond his legendary career, Magic Johnson has repeatedly demonstrated that the values shaping a family matter just as much as those shaping a franchise. In 2013, Magic's son E.J. Johnson became the focus of public attention after being photographed holding hands with his boyfriend. At a time when speculation could easily have turned into silence or deflection, Magic responded with clarity and conviction. He publicly affirmed his love for his son, stating plainly that family support was unconditional and non-negotiable. This moment resonated deeply, especially within the sports world, where discussions around sexuality have historically been limited. Magic's response was not dramatic or defensive. It was calm, loving, and resolute. He reminded the public that parenting does not change when a child comes out. Responsibility simply deepens. With strong support from both parents, E.J. Johnson flourished. Rather than following his father's athletic path, E.J. carved out his own space in fashion, television, and social influence. His confidence, expressive style, and openness made him a recognizable figure advocating self-expression and freedom. E.J.'s success became a reflection of a household that valued authenticity over expectation. Magic Johnson's support extended beyond his own family. His visibility and voice helped normalize conversations around LGBTQ+ acceptance within Black communities and professional sports. Spaces where such discussions are often complicated by tradition and stereotype. Magic once said that being a father was his greatest achievement. In standing proudly beside his son, he showed that leadership is not only measured by championships, but by the courage to love openly. His story proves that true greatness is not diminished by difference. It is strengthened by acceptance. Richard Pryor. Richard Pryor was not just a comedian. He was a revolutionary force who reshaped American stand-up comedy. Emerging in the late 1960s and dominating the 1970s, Pryor broke barriers with raw, fearless storytelling that confronted race, addiction, pain, and vulnerability head-on. His influence extended far beyond laughter, inspiring generations of comedians to speak honestly rather than safely. Behind the stage, Pryor's personal life was complex. He was a father to 7 children, navigating fame while battling substance abuse and turbulent relationships. Among his children, Rain Pryor became a powerful example of resilience and authenticity. In the mid-1990s, Rain publicly came out as bisexual, a courageous step at a time when conversations about LGBTQ+ identity, especially within Black families, were far less visible. While Richard Pryor's health declined in his later years due to multiple sclerosis, His legacy of honesty left a lasting imprint on his family. Rain often spoke about growing up under the weight of a legendary surname while struggling to define her own voice. Instead of hiding her identity, she embraced it, transforming personal experience into creative strength. Rain Pryor later became an actress, writer, and speaker, using art to process identity, family, and self-acceptance. Her memoir, Jokes My Father Never Taught Me, offered an unfiltered look at life with a famous father while affirming her journey as a queer Black woman. Through her work, Rain extended her father's legacy, not through comedy alone, but through truth. Although Richard Pryor did not live in an era where public conversations about LGBTQ+ parenting were common, the values reflected in his work, honesty, confrontation of pain, and emotional freedom, created space for his daughter to live openly. His influence was not expressed through press statements, but through the courage he modeled on stage. Richard Pryor's story reminds us that acceptance is not always loud. Sometimes it is inherited through example. His legacy lives on not only in comedy history, but in the strength of a daughter unafraid to be herself. Marlon Wayans. Marlon Wayans is best known for his infectious humor and versatility across film, television, and stand-up comedy. From In Living Color to box office hits like Scary Movie and White Chicks, he built a career on laughter rooted in fearlessness and authenticity. Yet beyond entertainment, Marlon's most meaningful role has been as a father. In 2019, Marlon publicly shared his support for his child Amai Zachary Wayans, who is part of the LGBTQ+ community. Rather than making a dramatic announcement, Marlon chose a simple yet powerful gesture, posting a pride message celebrating his child with words filled with love and pride. The message resonated widely, especially within communities where such public affirmation from fathers remains rare. Marlon's response was not performative. In interviews, he explained that parenting is about unconditional love, not expectation. He openly acknowledged that his child taught him about courage, identity, and honesty, reversing the traditional narrative where parents are seen as sole teachers. This humility made his message even more impactful. Unlike many celebrities who separate public image from private life, Marlon integrated fatherhood into his values. He emphasized that no belief system, cultural norm, or fear of backlash should outweigh a parent's responsibility to protect their child emotionally. His stance was particularly influential given his platform and the generational impact of the Wayans family in Black entertainment. Amai chose not to pursue fame, instead living privately and authentically. Marlon respected that choice, reinforcing that support does not require exposure. His actions demonstrated that acceptance is not about spotlighting identity, but about creating safety. Marlon Wayans' journey illustrates a modern vision of fatherhood, one defined by listening, growth, and presence. In loving his child openly, he extended the same freedom he championed in comedy into real life. His story proves that laughter may open doors, but love is what truly changes lives. Isaiah Thomas. Isaiah Thomas is remembered as one of the fiercest competitors in NBA history. A two-time NBA champion with the Detroit Pistons, Finals MVP, and Hall of Famer, Thomas built his legacy on intelligence, resilience, and leadership. Yet beyond the hardwood, his most meaningful impact has been quieter, rooted in fatherhood and steadfast support. Thomas is the father of Zeke Thomas, an openly gay DJ, producer, and activist who has used his platform to advocate for LGBTQ+ visibility and mental health awareness. Zeke chose a creative path far removed from professional sports, carving an identity defined by music, community, and honesty. In 2017, he bravely shared his experience as a survivor of sexual assault, a revelation that carried enormous weight, particularly for a gay Black man speaking openly in public. Throughout Zeke's journey, Isaiah Thomas remained a constant presence. He did not seek headlines or public praise for his parenting. Instead, his support was expressed through consistency, being present, protective, and proud without spectacle. That quiet solidarity mattered. It communicated safety, trust, and belief when his son needed it most. In a sports culture often constrained by narrow ideas of masculinity, Thomas's role as a supportive father challenged assumptions. His example showed that strength does not require silence, and love does not need a microphone. Zeke has frequently acknowledged the importance of family backing, emphasizing that confidence is built at home before it is tested by the world. Isaiah Thomas's story reframes greatness. Championships fade, statistics evolve, but values endure. By standing with his son through moments of vulnerability and courage, Thomas demonstrated that leadership extends beyond arenas. His legacy is not only etched in banners and trophies, but in the certainty his child felt knowing he was never alone. Will Smith. Will Smith's career is defined by reinvention. From chart-topping music to blockbuster films and award-winning performances, he became one of the most recognizable figures in global entertainment. Yet alongside fame, Smith and his family embraced a philosophy that prioritized openness, conversation, and emotional truth. That approach became especially visible through the journey of Willow Smith. As she grew into adulthood, Willow publicly explored her identity, coming out as bisexual and speaking candidly about her views on relationships and self-expression. Her honesty sparked widespread discussion, both supportive and critical, reflecting society's ongoing struggle with evolving definitions of love and identity. Will Smith's response was clear and consistent. He affirmed his daughter's right to define herself without fear, emphasizing that parenting is about creating space rather than imposing limits. Alongside Jada Pinkett Smith, he modeled listening over lecturing, choosing empathy over judgment. Their support was not conditional on public approval. It was grounded in trust. Rather than treating Willow's identity as a controversy, Will framed it as growth. He spoke about the responsibility parents have to meet their children where they are, acknowledging that love expands when families allow honesty to lead. This stance resonated widely, particularly within communities where conversations about sexuality can be fraught with stigma. Willow's confidence reflects that foundation. She continued to build a creative career defined by authenticity, intellect, and independence, traits nurtured by a home that valued dialogue. Will Smith's role was not to direct her path, but to protect her freedom to choose it. In a world quick to judge difference, Will Smith's story highlights a simple truth. Acceptance is an action. His legacy as a father shows that the most powerful endorsement a child can receive is unwavering belief, spoken softly, lived daily, and offered without condition. Jada Pinkett Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith has never fit neatly into a box. Actress, producer, author, and cultural thinker, she has long challenged traditional expectations placed on Black women in Hollywood. Yet beyond her career, Jada's most profound influence has emerged through motherhood, especially in how she has supported her daughter's journey of self-discovery. As the mother of Willow Smith, Jada played a central role in creating a home built on honesty rather than fear. Willow, who grew up under global attention, eventually came out publicly as bisexual and later shared her perspectives on non-traditional relationships. These revelations sparked intense public debate, but inside the Smith household, the response was grounded in understanding. Jada's approach was not reactionary. Through Red Table Talk, she openly discussed identity, sexuality, and emotional growth, not as abstract concepts, but as lived experiences. Instead of positioning herself as an authority, she chose vulnerability, admitting that parenting does not come with perfect answers. Her priority was ensuring that her child felt seen, safe, and respected. What makes Jada's story powerful is the context. In many communities, especially within Black families, conversations around sexuality are still clouded by stigma and silence. By addressing these topics openly, Jada reframed motherhood as a continuous learning process rather than a rigid rulebook. Willow's confidence did not appear overnight. It grew in an environment where curiosity was welcomed and self-expression was protected. Jada understood that identity is not rebellion, it is revelation. By allowing her daughter the freedom to evolve publicly, she modeled courage not only as a parent, but as a woman unafraid of scrutiny. Jada Pinkett Smith's legacy in this story is clear. True parental strength lies not in control, but in compassion. Her support reminds the world that acceptance begins at home, and when it does, it has the power to ripple far beyond one family. Cynthia Bailey. Cynthia Bailey is often celebrated for her elegance, poise, and decades-long success in modeling and television. Yet her most impactful moment did not take place on a runway or reality show. It unfolded quietly through a conversation rooted in trust between a mother and her child. Cynthia is the mother of Noelle Robinson, who publicly shared that she is attracted to both men and women. This moment aired on The Real Housewives of Atlanta, not as a dramatic storyline, but as an intimate exchange that resonated deeply with viewers. Noelle spoke honestly, without labels or performance, simply expressing how she experienced love. Cynthia's response became the heart of the moment. She did not interrupt, correct, or redirect. She listened. Her reply was gentle yet powerful, affirming that happiness mattered more than conformity. She made it clear that her love was not dependent on who her daughter chose to love. What made this moment significant was its visibility. Many young people never witness parental acceptance in real time, especially on mainstream television. Cynthia's calm reassurance challenged long-standing stereotypes about conditional love and generational resistance. Rather than framing Noelle's identity as something to manage, Cynthia treated it as something to honor. Since then, Noelle has continued to live authentically, using her voice to encourage openness and emotional honesty among her peers. Cynthia Bailey's story is not about grand speeches or activism. It is about presence. By choosing understanding over fear, she demonstrated that progress often begins with a single conversation. Her example shows that unconditional love does not require complete understanding, only a willingness to stand beside your child as they discover who they are. In a world where acceptance is still debated, Cynthia quietly proved that sometimes the most powerful statement a parent can make is simply saying, "I'm here." Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan is often described as the ultimate competitor, six-time NBA champion, global icon, and a symbol of relentless excellence. His name is synonymous with dominance, discipline, and an almost mythical standard of greatness. Yet one of the most defining moments of his later life did not happen on the basketball court, but within his own family. Jordan is the father of Jasmine Jordan, who publicly came out as a lesbian in 2023. Although she had long been open about her identity with family and close friends, this marked the first time she acknowledged it publicly. Her announcement was calm, confident, and unapologetic, reflecting a sense of self-assurance that does not appear by accident. Behind that confidence was the quiet support of her father. Known for his reserved nature and private personal life, Michael Jordan did not turn his daughter's revelation into a public spectacle. Instead, he focused on what mattered most, ensuring that she felt loved, protected, and respected. Those close to the family have shared that Jordan took time to listen, learn, and adapt, choosing understanding over assumptions. In a sports world that has historically struggled with conversations around sexuality, especially within male-dominated spaces, Jordan's response carried weight. He did not rely on his status or image. He relied on empathy. By standing beside his daughter without hesitation, he demonstrated that growth does not end with success. It evolves through love. Jasmine has since continued to build her own identity outside of her father's shadow, working in sports marketing and fashion, while advocating for authenticity and self-worth. Her journey reflects a household where individuality was allowed to flourish. Michael Jordan's story here is not about perfection, it is about progress. It proves that even icons shaped by rigid expectations can choose openness. True greatness, as Jordan's life now shows, is not only measured by championships, but by the courage to support your child when they choose to live their truth. R. Kelly. The story of J. Kelly, the child of R. Kelly, is one of courage, resilience, and self-definition, formed in circumstances far more complicated than fame alone. In 2014, at just 14 years old, Jay publicly came out as a transgender boy, choosing honesty over silence in a world that can be harsh, especially for young people navigating identity under public scrutiny. Jay's announcement was not driven by media pressure or publicity. It came quietly, through social media, as a personal declaration of self. The response was immediate and overwhelming, both supportive and deeply critical. For a teenager still discovering who he was, the weight was immense. What made Jay's journey especially difficult was the absence of clear parental support from his famous father. R. Kelly publicly stated that he needed time to understand Jay's transition, a response that drew widespread criticism and highlighted the emotional distance between them. That lack of affirmation became a defining challenge, but it did not stop Jay. Instead of retreating, Jay moved forward. He embraced his identity openly, appearing in public, sharing his experiences, and becoming a visible voice for transgender youth, particularly those who feel unseen or unsupported at home. His confidence became a form of resistance, proving that validation does not always come from where we expect it. Jay's story stands apart from his father's legacy. It is not shaped by controversy or power, but by self-determination. Over time, Jay has focused on healing, creativity, and community, building strength through honesty rather than approval. This narrative is not about assigning blame, it is about recognizing courage. Jay Kelly's journey reminds us that acceptance is not guaranteed, even within families, but authenticity can still thrive. Sometimes the bravest stories are not about who stands with you, but about how you stand when you must walk alone. Khary Payton. Khary Payton is widely known for his commanding screen presence and versatile talent. From voicing Cyborg in Teen Titans to his powerful role as King Ezekiel on The Walking Dead, Payton has built a career rooted in strength, leadership, and emotional depth. Yet away from Hollywood sets and microphones, his most meaningful role has been that of a devoted and courageous father. In 2020, Khary Payton publicly shared that his son Carter is transgender. The announcement was not made through controversy or spectacle, but through a deeply personal message filled with pride and love. Payton introduced his child simply and powerfully. "This is my son." Those words resonated across social media, not because they were dramatic, but because they were unwavering. For many transgender youth, especially within the Black community, family acceptance can be the difference between fear and freedom. Khary Payton understood this clearly. Rather than centering himself or his public image, he centered his child's humanity. He made it clear that Carter's happiness, safety, and sense of self mattered more than public opinion. Payton did not present himself as a perfect parent with all the answers. Instead, he emphasized listening, learning, and protecting. He acknowledged that parenting a transgender child is a journey, one that requires humility and growth. By using his platform to normalize love and respect, he challenged stereotypes that still exist around masculinity, fatherhood, and gender identity. Carter's transition was described as calm and affirming, supported by a family environment that allowed authenticity to thrive. That support empowered Carter to live openly without fear inside his own home, something many young people never experience. Khary Payton's story is not about fame or activism for applause. It is about responsibility. He demonstrated that true strength lies in standing up for your child when the world may not understand them yet. His example sends a clear message. Acceptance is not a trend, it is a commitment. In a society still learning how to embrace difference, Khary Payton reminds us that progress often begins with one parent choosing love over fear and presence over silence. Sade Adu. Sade Adu has always been an enigma. With her velvet smooth voice, timeless elegance, and refusal to chase fame, she became one of the most respected artists in global music history. Yet behind her carefully guarded privacy lies one of the most quietly powerful stories of motherhood and unconditional love. Sade is the mother of Isaac Theo Adu, a transgender man who began his transition in 2016. Unlike many celebrity families, their journey was not announced through headlines or interviews. It unfolded gradually, authentically, and with dignity. Sade chose protection over publicity, allowing her son the space to become himself away from public pressure. In 2019, Isaac publicly thanked his mother after completing gender-affirming surgery, writing a deeply emotional message expressing gratitude for her unwavering presence during the most vulnerable period of his life. That message revealed what words from Sade herself rarely do. Behind the silence was constant support, patience, and love. In industries where image often outweighs humanity, Sade's approach stood out. She did not brand acceptance or use her son's journey to shape a narrative. Instead, she lived it. Her support empowered Isaac to step into the world with confidence and later become an advocate for transgender awareness and mental health. Sade's story resonates deeply within the Black community, where conversations around gender identity can still be met with resistance. By standing firmly beside her son, without explanation or apology, she offered a powerful lesson. Love does not require permission, nor does it need a spotlight. Her legacy is not only musical, it is maternal. Sade Adu proved that sometimes the strongest form of advocacy is quiet consistency. In a world eager to judge, she chose to protect. In a culture obsessed with noise, she chose presence. And in doing so, she showed that unconditional love does not have to be loud to change lives. Gabrielle Union. Gabrielle Union has never been afraid to speak her truth. Actress, author, and activist, she built her public identity on honesty about trauma, healing, and womanhood. That same honesty became the foundation of her most important role, motherhood. As the stepmother of Dwayne Wade, Gabrielle Union played a central role in one of the most visible stories of transgender acceptance in modern celebrity culture. When Zaya came out as a transgender girl, Gabrielle stood firmly beside her, not as a bystander, but as an advocate. Rather than retreat from public scrutiny, Gabrielle used her voice intentionally. She spoke about the importance of listening to children, respecting their identities, and creating safe spaces at home before the world ever weighs in. She emphasized that parenting is not about control, it is about protection, education, and love. Gabrielle also addressed the unique challenges faced by Black transgender youth, highlighting issues of safety, representation, and mental health. She made it clear that support must go beyond words, extending into action, policy awareness, and everyday affirmation. What set Gabrielle apart was her refusal to soften the truth for comfort. She openly confronted backlash, acknowledging that acceptance can invite criticism, but silence is far more dangerous. Her commitment helped position Zaya not as a controversy, but as a confident young girl living authentically. Within her household, Gabrielle modeled empathy and growth. She admitted learning along the way, proving that parents do not need perfection to offer powerful support. They need willingness. Gabrielle Union's story is not just about celebrity parenting. It is about choosing courage over convenience. By standing visibly and vocally with her child, she helped redefine what allyship looks like within families and reminded the world that love, when paired with action, becomes transformative. These stories leave us with one powerful question. Is unconditional love stronger than tradition? Some believe these celebrities are reshaping society for the better, while others argue they are abandoning cultural values. But one thing is clear: silence no longer protects anyone. Supporting LGBTQ+ children requires courage, especially under the harsh glare of fame. So where do you stand? Do you believe parents should always support their children's truth, no matter the cost? Or should boundaries remain? Drop a 1 if you support these parents, or a 0 if you disagree. Share your thoughts and follow Black Excellence Legends for more real conversations.